a significant move aimed at revitalizing Nigeria's economy, the federal Executive Council has approved the Executive Stabilization Bills. Now, to shed more light on the economic benefits of the Economic Stabilization Bills is an economist, Dr. Chijoke Kechukwu. You are welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much. It's always my pleasure.
Now, how would you describe this move seen as a crucial step in the government's accelerated stabilization and advancement plan? And how pivotal is it in stabilizing the economy?
I can say that this is a welcome development. You know, as a patient goes to the hospital and is diagnosed with an ailment, and treatment is given to that patient, this is actually what we are going through right now. And I consider this economic stabilization policy to be the kind of treatment and medication that is necessary to get the economy moving. To see that the president is responsive to the economic situation of the country and with all the measures. And he has actually empowered the committees set to rebuild the economy. Whenever they come in with recommendations, you see that he's almost implementing all, against the kind of things that used to happen before. Recommendations are submitted in reports and we don't get them implemented. But you could see executive orders given out and then presentation of this kind of approval to ensure that the economy gets moving again. I think it's a welcome development.
Okay, do you think the bill will address Nigeria's persistent fiscal deficits?
Yeah, when we look at the issues that are within the economy, the issues that are troubling the economy, we are taking them one after the other. Of course, we look at the prices of petroleum products, which are affecting the cost of living, which obviously are affecting the transportation costs for an average Nigerian. And so to imagine that the VAT, there will be exemption of VAT in the cost of these petroleum products. That's like removing 7.5% from the cost already in the market. So this is obviously going to reduce this cost and is going to dovetail into improving the standard of living and reducing the cost of living of an average Nigerian. And when you also look at the other measures taken, the waivers of tax on petroleum products, again, diesel and some other areas of export and other areas. You see that these are all geared towards stimulating the economy again and making sure that at the end of the day, inflation rate is reduced. We also see the measures, different measures taken, also meaning that there is a response to the situation on ground, and these responses are actually going to improve the economy. And please note that when a person is ill and you start medication, that medication does not work in one day. It takes a little while, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, before you hear that the patient is fully okay right now. And so we need to know that these measures are positive measures, and these are measures that are actually supposed to get solutions, desired solutions to the issues of the economy of the country.
Nice. Now, the ESB is designed to amend over 15 existing tax, fiscal, and establishment laws, thereby enhancing economic stability across the nation. How possible is this?
From the beginning of the establishment of this committee, we saw the commitment, we saw the will by the committee and also the will by the presidency, by the president to actually implement whatever recommendations they are making. This is exactly the kind of thing we want, a situation where certain measures are taken and they're implemented as considered good enough for improvement of the system. And so these are very possible. They are very, very possible. I've gone through all of them, and I know that these are necessary reforms that are necessary to beef up our economy. They are necessary, and I want to give kudos to the committee and also to the president for accepting to get all those reforms in place. So we expect that the National Assembly will just do their own part, and then we'll have them on the ground running.
Okay, the income tax law amendments aim to facilitate greater employment opportunities for Nigerians, particularly within the global value chain and digital economy sectors. What can be done to make this happen?
Yes, they also saw that there was a challenge there where Nigerians were not getting the kind of global employment system, global employment in the global market. So that reform is such that you don't have to pay taxes here. You don't have to register here in Nigeria for you to be an employer of a Nigerian who is an expert or who has talent to contribute to your own work. So this is just to create more employment for Nigerians who can now be employed anywhere in the world, rendering services to any company anywhere in the world without bothering whether the companies are registered here or not. Because at the end of the day, what we need to look at is the total value at the end and how does it benefit the economy and benefit Nigerians. This one obviously benefits Nigerians, and it will create more employment, and it will open the vistas of employment opportunities for Nigerians. Okay,
promoting fiscal discipline and alleviating poverty is central to the proposed bill. How can this be sustained?
You know, one of the major issues we've had in the country has been having to implement fiscal responsibility of our country. It is so that you see a lot of institutions, MDAs, that actually collect revenues, and they are supposed to remit certain percentage, and nobody, well, they may be monitored, but I see that we don't fully implement this. So Fiscal Responsibility Act actually has to be amended to be able to ensure that whatever you receive as revenue, because a lot of ministries and parastatals are revenue-generating institutions. And so when you generate and you have this revenue, you need to remit to the appropriate revenue accounts, so that you don't have to tell stories about it. And if you don't do that, there has to be penalty for it. And that penalty could come in any form. So we need to have that will to be able to establish that and to make sure that when people don't implement those, they have to be punished. So it's also a very good policy that is going to be enacted.
Okay. Yeah. I know you've mentioned this, but do you think that the bill's provision on reducing unemployment can realistically lead to significant job creation? And what sectors do you think might see the most growth?
Of course, the ICT sector, let me start from the last question. The ICT sector is going to have the significant, because a lot of the demand for them is huge and among us all over the world. So people in ICT, people in human resources, and of course, we can also have remote health services and things like that. So these are people that are going to benefit, and it's going to actually create the employment opportunities we are looking for. However, we also, this is not the end of it. We also need to grow our various sectors. Manufacturing sector needs to grow. Agricultural sector needs to grow. And other sectors that are still not being harnessed, we need to grow them in order for us to also employ locally, apart from the online and international employment opportunities created.
Well, I must say a very big thank you to you, Dr. Chijioke Ikechukwu, for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you very much, Neka. It's my pleasure.